Hey everyone, it's Jake here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. If you're new here, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, smash the like, and leave a comment down below of what you think of today's video after you watch it, of course. In today's video, guys, we're going to be playing out 4 best of 3s versus the man, the myth, the JimmaBanks. Yeah, JimmaBanks is a legend. He won his regionals, and he made it to Worlds. Although he didn't win his first round, he still played very well. I believe he told me he went 2-1. I will leave his channel link down below in either the comments or the description for you guys to go check him out. He is an amazing guy, very funny, and he loves his PvP, guys. So be sure to check him out, show him some love, drop him a sub. That rhymed all the time. I'm Jimma. Just kidding. I'm Jake the Snake, coming at you with some it's Jimma versus Jake in a Jungle Cup tournament style best of 3, and we're gonna be doing 3 more after this for Rainbow Cup. This was just an early preliminary team I made up. Take these teams with grains of salt. These are probably going to change a little bit as the meta unfolds. And again, check out Jimma down below. Show him some love. Drop him a sub. The man, JimmaBanks. So, without further ado, guys, let's jump right into this first best of 3 versus Jimma. My team will be up on the screen here. It is Vigoroth, Heracross, Sceptile, Fortress, Magneton, Lantern. Yes, I am running the double electrics because, as you can see, my team is pretty weak to the flyers. The things like Sceptile, Heracross, and Fortress are all weak to flyers, so I enforce that and I cover that with the electric types here. And then I have the fighting types and the grass types, aka Sceptile and Heracross, to cover for Vigoroth. And then I have Fortress just in case there's any of the bug types going up against me, and that will wall those pretty well as well. And then obviously we have the king of the jungle, aka Vigoroth, aka a Donkey Kong. Shout out to J Devin. And then on JimmaBanks' team here, we got Pidgeot, Vigoroth, Beedrill, Venusaur, Fortress, and Raichu. So initially, here's my team up on the screen. I wanted to go with Fortress lead. I saw that was the safest lead against this team. Fortress has wins obviously against Beedrill, against Venusaur. It goes even with Vigoroth, and it does pretty decent against Raichu. It can also put in work against Vigoroth, although that's more of a close matchup. But its only real hard last here is Pidgeot. And then we got Heracross here in the middle to cover for, you know, the Venusaurs, the Raichus, and the Vigoroth. And then we got Lantern in the back to cover for Fortresses and Heracross's weakness to that Pidgeot. Lantern is a great wall to Pidgeot, as well as other things like Fortress. It does pretty well against, as long as you have a shield to block that Earthquake, and it also does very well against Beedrill. So without further ado, let's jump right into this first best of 3. I don't want to hold you guys up for too much longer. So here we start off with Fortress, guys, and he opens Raichu. So this is a pretty decent matchup. And right off the bat, we realize he doesn't have Brick Break, guys. So take a look at that. He uses Wild Charge, and we decide not to block because, well, Raichu's quick move damage, Thundershock, is not going to be doing very much at all. So we know we can at least get to a Heavy Slam. So we block that, and we fire off our Heavy Slam there. He's going to actually use his shield there. So interesting play by Jimma. But he's going to get to this Thunder Punch first, and that's going to KO our Fortress. But now, I believe we bring in Lantern here. Yes, we do. We do bring in Lantern because we know we're gonna try to bait out something. Either, yep, there it is. We bait out the Vigoroth. We were expecting a Venusaur to come out, but that is okay. So we used our Thunderbolt here. We forced his last shield, and we are just fine with tanking this Body Slam. And now we're going to charge up a little bit of energy and switch into Heracross, so Heracross can indeed tank that body slam, which it does. He has no shields left, and he brings in Fortress, guys. Now this is where Heracross can actually do pretty well. Despite that Fortress resisting Mega Horn, Counter is also doing a great amount of damage. So as you can see there, he uses energy to kill my Heracross, and now we come in with Lantern. We still have a shield left, guys, and this is where the shielding came into play here. We can shield this body slam that would have KO'd us before, and we get to a Thunderbolt, and that will KO his Vigoroth. And we take game number 1 in this first best of 3 against JimmaBanks. Alright guys, so going into game number 2 here against Jimma, we are going to switch up the flow a little bit, run the same teams, but just lead with Heracross this time, because we probably expect him to lead Vigoroth in this game. It was a pure hunch by me, but yeah, we're gonna lead Heracross to see what we can do, and if we can catch Vigoroth off guard, that'll be awesome. Chia. Game 2 in this best 3 versus JimmaBanks, and he opens Vigoroth. Now that's great for us. So he's gonna switch into Fortress, and we're gonna switch into Lantern. Now, I didn't want to show my Fortress for the mirror match. I didn't want to play that mind game. But we are going to block that Earthquake, so that is very good by us. We're gonna overfarm a ton of energy here, and we're finally gonna pull the trigger on this Thunderbolt, and he's gonna not block it. So interesting choice there. But he's going to bring in his Vigoroth, which is smart with saved energy. And we are going to fire off our Thunderbolt to force a shield, which we get. So perfect. But at this point, guys, he has banked probably about 2 body slams. But that is okay, because we have 2 things that can tank both of those. And it's going to be Heracross. Heracross is the only Pokemon, guys, in this cup that can beat Vigoroth in all shielding scenarios. Even down 0 to 2 shields. It's a little factoid for you guys, but he brings in Raichu, and he still has 1 shield left. So we're gonna bait it here with the Heavy Slam, and he's gonna take the bait. So this is absolutely great for us. We're gonna let our Fortress go down there. It did a ton of work, and we can bring in Heracross here. Now we go for a little bit of an overcharge, but we finally pull the trigger on Mega Horn. We feint his Raichu, and his Vigoroth comes in, and look at how close this gets, guys. Wow, we barely survive, but we beat the Vigoroth with counters. So that's where Heracross comes into play in this meta, guys. It is the killer of Vigoroth. So GG's to you, Jimma, and that first best of 3. Let's get into the second one. Chia. We got another best of 3 versus JimmaBanks, and this time we're switching it over to Rainbow Cup, guys. I'm sorry we only had 1 best of 3 with Jungle, but the rest of this video will actually be best of 3s against Jimma doing the Rainbow Cup. So to start this off here, we got my team on the left, his team on the right. I don't want to take too much of your time explaining the matchups, but so for this first game, as you can see in the middle, I'm going to be opening Fortress, because we see that his team, I mean, he only really has 1 hard check to Fortress, guys, and that is Charizard. So we consider Fortress probably the safest lead against his team. Fortress can do well against Lantern. It can do okay against Quagsire. It'll obviously wall Venusaur, and Fortress mirror match is fine. And it can also it also beats out Azumarill in most shielding scenarios. The only thing we would have to worry about is Charizard. So I take Fortress as the safest lead option there. And then we have Quagsire in the middle to cover for that fire damage that Fortress hates, being Charizard. And then, you know, Quagsire obviously can deal with Azumarill and Lantern pretty easily. Well, at least Lantern pretty easily. And then we have Venusaur in the back to either have a mirror match with an opposing grass type to cover for Quagsire, or we have it to cover for the other water types in case neither of those 2 on my team could handle them. So we are a little bit weak to Charizard in this one here, but I mean, Quagsire can cover it easily, and Venusaur's Sludge Bomb can also do work against it. So let's jump right into this first battle of the second best of 3 against JimmaBanks. And I open Fortress, he opens Lantern. So like I said, guys, this is a pretty good matchup. As you guys know, we have Earthquake, and that will be dealing super effective damage to Lantern. So we decide to not block Thunderbolt here, and we're going to go for the Shield Bait. We want to make him think we'd go for the Earthquake, guys, and do we get the Shield Bait? We don't. So that's actually pretty bad for us. This matchup would have been slightly better if we did get the Shield Bait, but that is okay. We commit 0 shields apiece, and now we can bring in Venusaur to farm this Lantern, which we do. So we already almost have a Sludge Bomb, guys. And what does he bring in? He brings in that Fortress. So I was expecting Charizard, but that is okay. We switch out to Quag, and he brings in his own Quag. So this is very interesting. We're going to go for the Shield Bait initially, and he doesn't take it again, guys. So Jimma has Balls of Steel right now, not blocking that. And we're going to decide to block this thinking it's Earthquake, and we guess right. So we're going to go for another Stone Edge because we have to burn these shields, guys. And we finally get 1 shield down. We feel like this is going to be a Stone Edge, so we don't block, and it's an Earthquake. So this is worst case scenario for me. All we can really hope is farm up that Quag and hopefully chip down this Fortress slowly but surely. Which, I mean, we have 2 Frenzy Plants banked, so that's good, but we both still have a shield, and look at my HP compared to his. Like, that Bug Bite is doing massive damage to my Venusaur right now, and this is game over, guys. I'm sorry, but man, Balls of Steel for him to not block that first Stone Edge. I was thinking he would block, thinking it was an Earthquake, but yeah. And then we also lose not blocking his Earthquake, thinking it was a Stone Edge. So just great shielding on his end and bad predictions on my end. But anyways, let's jump into game number 2 of this second best of 3. All right, guys. Jumping into game number 2 here, we're going to use the same team, but we're going to lead Venusaur this time. And we think he's going to lead a water type again because, you know, half his team is water, but he actually leads the mirror match. So it's Venusaur versus Venusaur. Another huge mind game in this cup alongside Quagsire. And yeah, I'm going to pull the charge move first because I don't feel like piggybacking here. But he decides to piggyback, and we don't block this. So this actually pays off for us because he takes the damage, we don't. He takes the Sludge Bomb damage, we don't. But here we think he's going to use a Sludge Bomb, but he uses another Frenzy Plant. So yeah, good shield bait, but we're gonna go for Frenzy Plant also, and he blocks that. So that's 2 shields gone, and that's really good for us because we thought we were going to finish this off, but apparently he did piggyback, so yeah, but that's okay. We still have the shield advantage. So we're going to come in here with our Fortress to finish that. And he's going to switch into his Charizard. So we're going to switch immediately into Quag, and he's going to switch immediately into Lantern. So either way, this is a great matchup. We're going to farm a ton of extra energy. We're going to pull the trigger on Earthquake, one-shot that Lantern. Down it goes, and then down goes Charizard here with the Stone Edge. So, yeah, GG's well played, Jimma, in that game. I think maybe you were just a little too I don't know the word here. You were a little too into shielding Venusaur there, I guess. I don't know if that's the right wording, but he wanted his Venusaur to live for some odd reason. That's okay. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get smacked here in a few games, but let's jump into game number 3. All right, guys. So jumping into the final game of this best of 3 series. I believe it's the final game here. We're gonna open Venusaur again. So yet another mirror match. And this time, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna pull the trigger first once again. And he's not gonna block again, so that's great. This time we're not gonna block either, because it's Frenzy Plant. That's always fine. And we predict that it's going to be a Sludge Bomb here, so we decide to block, which actually works out. I think we get a piggyback there, as you guys saw, and he decides to let it go there. So we have a ton of extra health here, and we have to pull the trigger on a Frenzy Plant, guys. We didn't want Charizard fainting us, we wanted to at least apply a little bit of shield pressure, and that baits out his shield. So this is best case scenario for us right now. We're gonna obviously bring in Quagsire, and we're gonna opt to not block the first blast burn. That is okay. He's gonna switch out to Lantern, and we're gonna switch into Fortress. So this is where things get a little dicey, guys. We decided to go for the Earthquake, thinking he's probably gonna not shield because he probably thinks I'm trying to shield bait, but he does shield, and that's crucial for him because we decided to not block that Thunderbolt. And this means we aren't going to be able to get to another charge move, guys. Look how close we are. And we're going to decide to not block this because we knew it's Thunderbolt. But we didn't think Water Gun would take us down this low. So I make a huge mistake here and not shield one of those two Pokemon. And he's going to finish us off there. That always hurts, guys. I didn't really, in that moment, I didn't really expect Quagsire to not have any energy at all. I expected him to at least have maybe half an Earthquake ready to go, but he did not, and we lose that game with his shield left. So poor shielding choices on our end. We should have, well, I didn't want him to farm my Fortress, which is why I didn't shield that Thunderbolt, because eventually his Charizard would have came in, farmed me, and then potentially could have beat Quag. And then I would have been shieldless, and that's definitely not a scenario I would want to be in. So, anyways, you live and you learn. I should have shielded something there, but it is what it is. So, let's jump right into the next best of 3 against Jimma. Alright, guys, here we are, jumping into the third best of 3 against JimmaBanks. Another reminder, check him out down below in the pinned comment. I'll leave his channel there. Drop him a sub, please, and show him some love. He is an amazing content creator who really is helping push and promote the PvP scene to a greater level. So getting into this last best of 3, we're going to switch up the lineup a little bit, and we're going to run our, probably in my opinion, our strongest lineup, which is Ninetales, Quagsire, and Venusaur. Ninetales is going to be great for dealing with Fortress, Venusaur, and the mirror against the Charizard. Yeah, sure, it'll get walled by the other water types, but that is why we have Venusaur in here, to cover for those. And then we have Quagsire in the middle, again, to be able to go up against Charizard. It can potentially beat Fortress, it can beat Lantern all day long. It's a toss-up between Azumarill, and obviously it can do the mirror match. So quick little summary of my squad of 3 and why I'm choosing it here. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not showing much love to Mantine and Raichu, just because I feel like, again, Raichu doesn't have enough good matchups in this, and Raichu is also very squishy. So yeah, I can't just be dedicating both shields to Raichu when I need other things for I need other shields for things. So anyways, he opens Charizard. So this is actually a pretty decent matchup. I believe this is a tie actually in this scenario on 2 shields if you both shield a piece. But we're gonna go for the first Side Shock, and he's gonna not block. So automatically I know I'm gonna win this because he's probably gonna go for the shield bait here, which he does. And we knew by counting that this would be another Dragon Claw. There's no way he would already have another Blast Burn. And we're gonna finish off this Charizard here with a quick Side Shock. Chia. And then what does he bring in next? He brings in the Quagsire. So he's gonna farm probably about 3 mud shots worth of energy, but we have Venusaur, guys. And this is why I love bringing Venusaur against teams with heavy water types. We can farm those for days, and he brings in that Fortress. So we're going to immediately swap to Quag. Now, Fortress could have been a problem with this lineup, especially if my Ninetales dies, but he decides to not block that Stone Edge. So that's perfect for us. He's going to go for the Rock Tomb. Not sure if that was a shield bait by him, because I'm not counting Fortress's Bug Bites. That's just way too many for me to count. But anyways, that actually pays out big for us, and we're going to get a second Stone Edge off here. And does he shield? He does. So that's actually really good, because now we're up a shield, and obviously we can block this Rock Tomb all day long. We're actually going to aggro farm a little bit there. We're gonna feint the fortress with the frenzy plant, and we know his Quagsire is in the back, and we have the extra energy ready to go, and that's going to take game number 1 of this third best of 3 series. All right, guys. So getting into the next game in this third best of 3 against Jimma, we're gonna be opening Quagsire, and he opens Venusaur. So this is a worst case scenario. Like literally only Pokemon that I'm not okay with him opening against me with, but that's okay. We're gonna switch into our Venusaur, and this is where I saw not having a fortress kind of hurt me, but that's okay. He's going to get me with that first Sludge Bomb, but we still have 2 shields, so we're gonna have to block that to make this matchup slightly more positive in our hand. And he's going to not block that Sludge Bomb, so great. We're going to forego shields here because we need to save it for that Raichu in the back. And we're going to pull a ballsy play here, guys. We're going to actually switch into Raichu to farm this Venusaur the rest of the way. And somehow he does not get to a Frenzy Plant. So that pays off big for us. We have all of this banked energy, and he brings in a Lantern. So right off the bat, we're going to go for Wild Charge. Does he block it? No. That's great. We're going to fake another Wild Charge, use the Thunder Punch to try to bait out a shield, and he still doesn't block. So he is not biting, guys. This is not good. We needed to get rid of that last shield. And he just lets his Lantern go. And now we realize why he did that, because he has a Quagsire in the back. Very smart on Jimma to not use shields there. And right here, we're going to go for the Stone Edge, because we know he has to block, maybe thinking it's an Earthquake, and we get the shield. We're gonna actually block this Stone Edge. That was a little scary there. And he's gonna get the Earthquake off, guys. Or no, actually, he gets a Stone Edge off. So that was a pretty big misplay by Jimma. He could have easily just went for the Earthquake, and I believe he would have, I think he would have feinted me there, or at least beat me to the Earthquake. But he makes a pretty huge mistake, and that means we get to win this game, or win this third best of 3 2-0. So GG's well played, Jimma. At this point, I am up 2-1 in best of 3s, I believe. So I won 2 best of 3 so far. He's won 1, but let's jump right into the final best of 3 of this video. Hey guys, and welcome to the 4th and final best of 3 versus JimmaBanks. In this one, we're going to be trying to show some more love to Raichu, as I've seen that I haven't been showing too much love to it because it's so squishy, and because there's so many tankier things in this meta. So anyways, we open Quag, and he opens Venusaur. So this is another terrible matchup. We got to switch into Venusaur, and he switches into Charizard. So this is perfect scenario for him. We are going to go for the shield bait here with Frenzy Plant, and we do get it. So that's a plus, despite this awful scenario we are in. So we're going to go for the Sludge Bomb, see if he doesn't shield, and he doesn't. So we get a bunch of chip damage there, and now Charizard is in the range to farm. So we're going to actually decide to bring out Quag, and we're not going to block this, and it's a Blast Burn, and that hurts. He's going to follow it up immediately after with the Dragon Claw, which we are going to block. We're in a really bad scenario here, guys. We're going to have to double block, and we're going to switch out into Raichu just to preserve our Quagsire's energy there, and he switches into his own Quag. So this is a matchup he can farm a lot of energy from, and that is exactly what he's going to do. As you can see right now, he's probably way past an Earthquake. He's just going to finish me off with a Stone Edge. And then going to come in with our Quag. We have to go for a Last Hope Earthquake Desperation, and he's going to finish us off here with a Stone Edge. So very well played there. I should have just went for Raichu against that Charizard, guys. That's my huge mistake. I should have just farmed it with Raichu. But we're gonna jump into the second game in this final best of 3 series, and we're just gonna go with the same exact team, guys, because we think he will make the adjustments here. And let's see if he leads Venusaur again. And he leads Lantern, so this is a very positive matchup for us. We have the switch clock ready to go for whatever he switches into, and it's Venusaur. So perfect. We have our own Venusaur, but at this time we realize we don't have a strong counter to the grasses. And right there, you guys witnessed us just waiting to see who will use their charge move first, and it's just a game of piggybacks at this point. So we both slug it out with sludge bombs. Neither of us block, and that's just amazing. So here he's gonna hit us with another frenzy plant. We block, and this is where somehow he won the piggyback. I'm just shocked. I just don't understand how that works. But anyways, we have to bring in Raichu here, and we're gonna hope to finish off this Venusaur. But he gets another frenzy plant, guys. So this is awful for us. We have to block that, otherwise our Raichu would go down. But if you look at the bright side, we still have a bunch of banked energy. So he's gonna bring in that Lantern. We're going to hit it with a wild charge. That is great. But we're gonna go for a shield bait here with Thunder Punch, and he does not shield. So great shielding play on him. He's gonna finish off our Raichu with a Thunderbolt, and all we have left is Quagsire with a bunch of charge energy, and he still has Fortress in the pack, guys. So this is really bad. We're gonna go for an Earthquake. He's not gonna shield, so very ballsy for him to not shield there. We have to hit the Stone Edge, obviously, to break that last shield. And can we beat him to a Stone Edge? No, we cannot. He gets off the Rock Tomb. And actually there, I put my phone down because I thought Rock Tomb would KO. But yeah, we weren't going to make it to a Stone Edge regardless. So, GG's, Jimma. He beats me 2-0 in that series. And we end off the night with 2 games apiece. So, very well played. I hope you guys enjoyed these tournament style, tournament format battles in both the Rainbow and the Jungle Cup. Chia Chia Chia. CallMeJake versus JimmaBanks. Went down in the books tonight, guys, and we are even. So well played to him, and make sure again to go show him some love, drop him a sub, smash some likes on his videos, and leave some comments in my video and in his video on what you thought about these best of 3 series. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, guys, please don't forget to smash my own subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and comment down below what you thought of today's battles. And if you would like to see more Jungle Cup tournament format style videos like these. And until the next video, guys, I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.